Good morning and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. Certainly glad to have you today. And as always, we want to thank BTC Fiber for hosting our program. And you can see this interview on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as their cable channel 18. And we'd also like to thank our sponsor, Needful Things General Store on Highway 127, just past the Bethel Church of Christ. Right there on the left as you're going towards Pikeville. Go by and see the things that Kim has. You might find some things you need. You might find some things you don't need, but just want anyway. So go by and check them out. And today we have Paul and Donella. Donella, right?
Okay. Correct.
Spencer. And they're from the Painted Pony Farms and Guesthouse. Now this is out on Cagle Mountain, right?
It is.
All right, I was making sure. I thought it was. I just want to make sure. I didn't want to give people the wrong directions here.
No.
Well, let's first let's get a little background on y'all and like some of your background and why you chose to do what you're doing now.
Okay.
You want to go first?
Okay, but I'll kind of take your background.
Okay.
So we spent quite a few years. He had an almost 30-year career in the Marine Corps.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Pleasure.
And so, you know, we had talked during the early part of his career about doing a farm or having a farm when we retired, which I was kind of thinking would be 20 years, and then it turned into almost 30 years. So it took us a while after he retired to find the right property.
Uh-huh.
But that's why we're here, because we kind of always wanted it and waited a whole career to get it.
Plus an additional 15 years.
Yeah, waiting through market crashes and things like that.
Yeah, been quite a few of those.
Yes.
Well, what brought you here? Y'all not originally from here, right?
No, we're not. We are transplants like many others here.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful area. So when we finally decided, hey, we need to get out of the Northern Virginia area where I did retire from the Marine Corps, it was like we need to find some place that we can, kick back, relax, farm type setting, and
that we can afford.
And we've been through Tennessee several times, back and forth across country, with children living out west, plus being transferred back and forth coast to coast with the military. So we've been through here several times, and we really like the state and the area and the plateau and everything like that. So when we decided to finally start looking for property, it was Tennessee, and I just started.
Looked online.
Just started looking to see what was available, and then decided to make a trip here, and we found this property, and it has quite a bit of potential, and a lot of work.
Yeah.
But the potential's there, so that's kind of how we settled here.
Well, like I say, I noticed on your website the pictures are really pretty of the property and everything out there. Of course, y'all have let's talk a little bit about the guest house first. Tell us about the guest house and what all y'all have had to do to fix it.
Get it ready.
Yeah.
Well, it's the original 1945 farmhouse for what used to be 600-acre property that had like more than 600, maybe close to 700 cows roaming around, pigs and whatever else they had. And 5 years later, after 1945, in 1950, they built the ranch house on adjacent property that we're living in that. But in getting the property, that gave us an extra house. So we knew that, when we bought, and I thought was good, we'll be able to loan it or use it as a guest house for friends and family or whatever. But honestly, it's a lot in between friends and family.
Yeah.
And so we looked at an up and coming industry, which was the Airbnb type thing, and that seemed to suit our needs. If we need it for friends or family, then we block out that time. If we don't need it, which is most of the time, then we can rent it out.
Well, I know there's been in this area a lot more recently, within the past couple of years, more of the Airbnbs.
Yes.
Being
there's quite a few.
And that's good, because I like people to come and see this valley. It's pretty.
Yes, I think they're coming anyway, and it's nice to have places for them to stay.
Well, and the point of it is we've not had a lot of places to stay.
Right.
And, they'd have to go to Chattanooga or maybe even to Cookeville other places an hour away, to find a place to stay, but then have to come back
Right.
and so this gives them an opportunity to stay here.
Yes.
When we first came up with the concept of turning it into an Airbnb, we took the entrepreneurial course that the chamber provides and offers, and that was one of the pluses that we got feedback on, was that we were providing, bed space and stuff basically for people to stay locally instead of having to travel to find accommodations, and they can stay locally and partake without doing that.
Now this is a 2-bedroom farmhouse.
It
right?
is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Just under 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
We've done quite a bit to it. We've had painting done on the inside, some paneling put in, some upgrades to the bathroom. The outside's
Ceiling
been
fans,
recently been painted.
because it was just lights in the bedroom, so I
Yeah.
wanted ceiling fans with lights, because I know I like to sleep with a fan.
Well, this is an opportunity for either a small family to stay, or maybe 2 couples that are traveling together, or
Yes.
something like that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
We're looking at, I don't want to say that nobody else is welcome, but our ideal people would be people that are interested in going and seeing what is around here.
Uh-huh.
And if they want to be involved in the farm, that's great, but you don't have to stay there. It's not just what is there to do on the farm. There are some things to do on the farm, but I hope that people will get out and see, the different state parks,
Right.
and the businesses and restaurants, and go for drives and see the
Y'all just
area.
about
It's
9
beautiful.
miles from Fall Creek Falls anyway, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
that's
Thereabouts.
off the top of my head, something like that. I know we're 7 miles from the Dead Zero
Oh,
Dead
Shooting
Zero
Gallery.
Shooting Park.
And that's where you turn off, basically, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
well,
but
that's
a little
one
further.
place.
Yeah, it's one
You can
place,
go a
yeah.
little
Okay.
further,
Yeah,
But-
so it's a little further than 9 maybe, but
But
off the top of my head, I
there's
don't
so
know.
much to do here. There's the fishing,
yes.
there's the hang gliding, there's rock climbing, there's so much to do right in this area.
And then the events,
Right.
So I hope that people might want to stay because of that, or if people have family coming in from out of the area and don't have a place to put them.
Right.
Well, they can all enjoy it.
Yeah. I know I've been to some families where we had people sleeping in the floor, sleeping on the couches, and you had them sleeping everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And this provides a good opportunity if somebody needed a place.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's what we were thinking.
Well, now tell us a little bit about your farm. You said it's 17 acres? Did I read that right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
all told,
been,
yeah.
It's been chopped down to 17 acres from the 600. Family along the way sold it
Right.
off.
Uh-huh.
So what we have left is 17 acres. It's a triangular shape in between an alpaca farm and a tree farm. So
Yeah.
basically what that means is, there's no Walmarts that you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much landscape
Yeah.
It's
that you're looking at.
it's rural and it's agricultural.
Yeah,
And
so
on our farm, we're working on fences and stuff. He's been
Right.
putting a lot of work into the fences. But on our farm, we have 2 horses, and we have 7 geese, not geese, 7 Muscovy ducks, and
5 chickens.
5
right
chickens.
Well, I see the ducks around here all the time flying. I hear them at night. They'll fly over my house, and you can hear them, and they're flying. I know there's some ponds and places they're going to,
Right.
and then you'll hear them fly back when they get through.
Right.
So it's
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
We have that with not our ducks flying, but the wildlife geese flying, and we had
We just
sandhill
had
cranes.
Yeah, the sandhill cranes are
Oh, yeah.
recently
Going
in
over
the
there. And
refuge.
jets. We have jets.
Yeah.
We seem to have a corridor in which the F-16s like to come down through.
And
Oh, yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I
heard
understand they come
that,
through the valley too.
I've heard that the silo that we have on our property is an aerial navigational landmark
That they've used for
that they used
decades.
for a long time. The property used to be owned by a retired Air Force colonel,
Oh, really?
and from what we understand, some of his buddies used to land their helicopters there
Oh, really?
when they came to visit. So.
Well, that's interesting.
I really love looking at the history of, who owned it, why they got it, what they used it for. And incorporating that history somewhat into our place.
Right.
Well, can
So-
when people stay, or do you have people that can just come out and visit your farm instead of staying, or
We're working toward that.
Yes, I would like, that's part of the plan with the farm part as opposed to the guest house part. And I've been trying to get in touch with people that might want to use it for certain things. I talked with an artist recently about possibly doing like plein air painting out there, painting courses.
oh yeah,
And just yoga classes outdoors or whatever, but we're not there yet. But these are ideas that
Right.
we want to have. We don't have a lot of actual parking, so I don't foresee like big events, but small events or classes held out there would be great.
Right. And for those that may stay in the guest house now, there's the horses. There's a field right behind the house that the horses will be in most of the time. They're welcome to come up to the fence line and say hi to them and stuff.
Yeah.
Like with any large animal, there's always cautions.
Yes.
But if they wanted to, get up more personal, close with the animal, the horses, then they could contact us. We're there most of the time, and we could escort them into
Well, they
into the
can
field
join
or
us for
something like that.
chores, the picking of eggs. Out
Yeah,
from under the
this time of
chickens
year, the
and
chickens
what
and
have
the
you.
eggs and the chickens and the ducks are laying eggs now.
The
So
eggs
we
are
collect them
laying.
just about every day,
yeah.
so they can
so-
join us for that.
Or grooming the horses. We don't offer riding. There's way too much liability
Yeah,
with that.
right.
But
Yeah, I understand
we
that.
can point them towards places that do offer riding, but we're trying to keep it with just interactions. And I would love to be an educator for someone who would like to know more about horses. I don't claim to know everything, of course. But, if people want to know about horses, I can, they can interact with the horses and I can help them.
Well, that's a kind of good thing. A lot of people, even though we're a rural area and we have all these animals everywhere,
That is.
excuse me, a lot of the children are not familiar with animals. They're not around them
Yeah.
because of maybe where they live,
More
or
city kids or
and they just may not be into animals, and that might be something that they
Yeah.
can go to and get familiar with.
Right.
eventually, yeah.
Right. Eventually.
We're going to start with the guest house and access for those people, and we're going, as we get the place fixed up, we're going to allow more interaction from the community. But I really want to work toward that.
There are 3 large greenhouses on the property, which, eventually then we can start maybe holding classes on agricultural things
yes.
and stuff like that, for visitors. Give them a kind of a crash course on things we're doing. I'm looking into hydroponics or aquaponics as one of the media to use for growing vegetables and plants.
And you might get even the 4-H groups to get involved with
Yes,
that.
That too
that
is
is
a
such a
place for
plan.
them.
I haven't talked to the leaders yet, but I really want to do that because I want to get, I want to support them. Part of what I haven't mentioned is that a portion, 10% of what we get from Airbnb, and I don't even know if it's net or gross. They take out some taxes already, then they deposit money in your account. So that money, 10% of it, I'm going to be giving to local charities. And one of my big, one of our things is veterans, obviously. Food security is another one. Children in agriculture. So that's why the 4-H just is so important to me. I really want to support that because I want these people to grow up and continue working with animals, whether it's as a vet or as a farmer providing food or whatever. But I really want to support that. And we have other things, scouting, and what's the other thing? Oh, I don't know.
No.
But it's something
Drawing
more.
blank, Richard.
Yeah, I think Dave Carter is involved in it.
Oh, it's there's a group out of Whitwell. I forget what it's a boys group also, similar to
Similar
the
to
Boy
the Boy
Scouts,
Scouts.
Run through the church down there.
So
Oh,
I would
I
like to
know
get
what
some
you're
of
talking
these organizations, you know, at least offer them a space. You know, they might not want it, but you know, be able to come up and work on plantings or work with trees or work with animals or whatever.
Well, you're seeing more and more of that now anyway, with people kind of doing their own things, you know, planting their own beds in their backyards, or and if they have space, you know, fixing their own gardens and having their own stuff.
Yes,
Right,
we were
right.
talking about that on the way down the hill.
That seems to be more popular now than it has been in the past.
Right.
I guess because of price.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just really important that we do that, kind of like the Victory Gardens back in the war.
Yeah.
And
So,
so that's good. That way you can have a lot of different people coming out there. I know there's some other small farms similar to y'all's in the area up on Cagle that they're basically kind of doing the same thing. They're having different animals that you can come and pet and see or feed.
Right.
And then they have some Airbnbs as well.
Right.
So, I mean, that's becoming more popular. And I think with this area, that'll be more popular. You'll see more of those because we have the area to do it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And like you, the people like it when they travel through here. They can't not like it.
Yeah.
True.
And
There's some beautiful views, and just certain seasons are just breathtaking. My favorite is fall, but spring is gorgeous too.
well, I've been told that there's only one other place in the world that has a valley similar to ours, and that's in Germany.
Really?
But I'm not going to go to Germany to find out. I'll stay right here. I can go up and down the mountain and look, you know, look
Yeah.
the
Well,
overlook.
if anybody had plans that they wanted to go to Germany to see it, you don't have to. You can just come here.
Yeah. Take a picture. You know.
Yeah.
But this is a lovely place, and it brings in, and I, for one, I'm glad people come and see it, and they like it, and they want to move here because it makes more friends. And
Right.
and then you also have different opinions and different ways to do things.
Right.
So many.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, because you know, if you want to tell us what to do, you can go back home. You know, but there's a lot of people that say, "Hey, here's another way to do this," and you go, "Oh, I didn't think about that."
And this area is very,
good to be
very veteran friendly.
Yes.
Yes.
There's over 3,000 veterans in this valley alone. And the support that they get from this community and others is just
And
tremendous.
the support they give to each other.
And the support we give to each other, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, we need to support our veterans. I mean, they're the ones that make our country what it is, and we just need more people like you today. You know, we need them today,
Right.
Yes.
and maybe things will change where we can get more people like that. But,
Well, there's a lot of veterans moving in here, transplants just like me. There's quite a few of them that are moving
That
in.
is very true.
well, that's good. I mean, you won't hear me complain, because that's one thing. I was not able to get into the military because I have epilepsy, but I had plenty of family that was in the military, and
It's not for everybody, but everybody can support us.
There
Right.
you go.
well, you know, you talk about that. Without the military, you couldn't buy the property you have, you know, because it may not be free. You know, it could be under somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it could have gone south. Our country could have gone south a long time ago had it not been for our great veterans.
Right.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
So, you know, we are what we are today because of our veterans. So I'm truly thankful for that. And
Well, thank you.
and I appreciate like your service and everything. Now, do y'all have I know I looked on your Facebook page, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you have a website or anything that people can go to?
Under development.
Yeah. Currently it's we were working with someone.
There's a placeholder for it right now. and
As I understand, he's turned it over to us, but we haven't done anything with it right now. The Facebook page, Instagram, and the Airbnb site is what we have right now.
Good. Well, Facebook does a lot. I mean, you get a lot of views on Facebook, and
Actually, depending on what you post, you can get a lot of views, and it can get shared a lot.
it helps our program.
Yeah. From what I understand of the internet person. We've got quite a few followers already for the Planet Point Farm guest house.
Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, that's
Considering that we haven't even had a guest yet. We have, I think, 269 or something.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So they're interested. I hope. That means what it means.
Well, we're just getting started, so
Yeah.
people may not be making plans for this area yet, but it's getting out there. People are starting to see it, and
Stuff like this is great.
Yeah.
right.
Well, I know. Just yesterday, I was in Pikeville. We do a program in Pikeville as well, and the shop where we were at, there were people from South Alabama in there in the shop. They were visiting family, and but they just happened to be shopping. And I'm originally from Alabama, so I talked with them and cut it,
Right.
a little bit. But it's people that are out of town coming in.
Right.
Right.
And of course, like y'all moved in, but we have people from out of state coming in just to visit.
Visiting. Right.
Because we have a lot of things like the cycling Sequatchie
Right.
in the fall.
Right.
Excuse me. I reckon the sinuses get me every
Oh, yeah. The
But
pollen.
like the cycle Sequatchie, I think this past year had over 14 states represented. So
That's
you
pretty
get
big.
people like that come in and they'll come back.
Right.
And then they'll plan vacations, or like the hang gliding and everything. That we don't have them all from Sequatchie County. They're coming from out of
Right.
Oh,
out of town.
definitely.
Right.
So we get a lot of out of town visitors.
Yeah, I actually ran into an individual when we were getting ready to move down here at a woodworking facility that was up there just for hobbyists. He was a member of the Tree Toppers
Really?
from down here. So, he lives up there, but when he wants to do some hang gliding stuff, he comes down here and does it.
Well, I appreciate them. I, for one, don't want to jump off the side of the mountain, but
Right. I'm happy to send people there if you want to go.
But I've been out there, and it's a lovely place, and they have my heart because I've watched them, and it's pretty neat.
It looks like a wonderful view,
Oh, it is.
but I like my feet to stay on the ground.
Yeah.
That whole farmer attitude, feet belong on the ground.
But
But I know a lot of people like it.
so, how can people get in touch with you if they want to come out and see? Are you available yet, or you said you weren't available yet?
Well,
It's
we're-
not available to rent just yet. I have it open the 14th of April,
Oh, okay.
and Airbnb is lovely about being in charge of all that.
Yeah.
You can see the cost, and there's a confusing amount of discounts. So right now through the end of March, they have a new listing discount of 20%, and then we're going to offer discounts to veterans and law enforcement. And as well, there's discounts for like how long you stay. I put those in there, but they allow you to do that. So if you stay for a week or more, there's a discount. If you stay the full 28 days is the maximum, there's a discount. So there's all kinds of things that affect the price. So it's just go on Airbnb, plug in what you would like to do, and you can see what the cost would be.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then it has the availability, it has a calendar, and the whole bit.
And they can also go on the Facebook page and check y'all out and see.
Yeah, oh yes.
Oh, absolutely.
There's
'Cause I know
loads
there's
of
lots
pictures
of
there.
pictures on there.
There's like, I don't know, 50 something pictures on Airbnb, but there's a lot more on the Facebook page.
Yeah, and I like
in different times of the year,
Yes.
so you can see, what it looks like at different seasons.
In the fall with the leaves changing, and in the spring with all the flowers, which we only have a few flowers right now.
I imagine y'all get some snow out that way.
We do.
More than
in
we
the
do
winter.
here.
Once in a while.
Yeah. So, and you probably get the storms too.
We have a tree down right now.
We have a tree down,
From that last.
not affecting the
No, not affecting the guest
guest house or anything.
guest house or our house
I'm getting
or
ready
the
to
chickens or the
replace
ducks.
one of the plastics on one of the greenhouses that got torn off. So
Yes.
Yeah.
it's Mother Nature is an interesting
Yeah.
event. But
She
we're getting
likes
there.
to say, "Oh, you thought you were almost ready? Well, here."
She likes to be in charge.
Yes, and she is.
Like I said before, it's a lot of work, but keeps us busy. It's
It's
fun.
good work. It's honest work.
It's enjoyable.
Keeps you out of trouble, right?
Outdoor work for the most part.
It does.
Well, that's certainly that. Is there anything else we haven't mentioned that y'all would like to mention or bring up?
I don't
Not
know. I
from
can't think
my
of
side.
anything.
Just looking forward to
I did
people
want to make
showing
sure
up.
I got that out there that we really want to be a supportive part of the community. I think we get that from our military life. You move someplace every 3 years or so,
Yeah.
and you have to make that your home.
Right.
And you learn to try and involve yourself. And now that we're here and plan to be here, we're fixing our house to be able to grow old and die in it, wheelchair availability and all that kind of stuff. So we plan to be here,
Right.
and we would like to connect with the community, both in maybe them supporting us, but definitely in us supporting them.
Well, that's the one thing that I've noticed. I've interviewed lately several people from out of state that have moved in here and started businesses, and every one of them have said they want to be involved in the community. They want to do things with the community, and that's good. That's what we need.
Well, one of the first things I did was join the American Legion,
That was
just so I could meet
Yeah.
the people here, and
And-
that's been a really, really good experience.
That's a good group. American Legion, the VFW, there is a good group of men.
It is.
and women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the women there too. So it's a good group. I really appreciate them, what they do, and have a lot of good friends over there. So, well, listen, I appreciate y'all being with me today, and hopefully we can get this out and get everyone to get out to your place.
That's
That'd be
great.
great.
Hey, I appreciate
We
it.
appreciate you having us.
Appreciate
Well,
Thank
thanks
you very
this
much.
opportunity. Thank
You're
you.
more than welcome. And again, folks, you can see this interview on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as Cable Channel 18. And again, we want to thank Kim Barkley at Needful Things General Store. Go by and check her out. So until next time, have a great day. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.